Welcome back, my friends. Scottie Taylor Jr. here. If you are new to the channel, then I am your prospecting strategist. I am here to help you get more leads, get more referrals on repeat. And so in today's video, what I want to do is I want to share with you how creating a prospecting system will create massive, massive changes in your life. You'll have more money than you know what to do with, more leads than you know what to do with, and your business is going to be so much more fun. So let's dig in. So digging right in, when we think about the path of being a financial advisor or being an insurance agent or being in wealth management, if we think about our business model and we think about what it's like to run our business, there's two segments to our business. On the left-hand side, we have leads and referrals. So people that we could be working with, prospects, you might call them QSs, people that we could be working with, but we're not yet. And so these are all of the leads and referrals. And then on the right-hand side, we have the client flow. And so what the client flow looks like is basically once you meet somebody, that starts the client flow. So that would be your approach conversation or your intro discovery conversation. It would be your fact finder or your discovery conversation, your close meeting, your onboarding conversation, your annual review. Everything over here pertains to taking care of the client. So moving the client through the process of approach, fact finder, close, onboarding, annual review. That's all the client flow. And then everything on the left-hand side is generating more leads, getting people on the calendar. Now, what I see with many, many advisors that are struggling or feeling stuck is they're focusing on the right-hand side of the equation. They're focusing on the client flow. And so what this might look like is I'm studying for my exam. So I want to get my CFP. I want to get my RICP. I want to get my Series 6, my Series 7, whatever licensing we need to get. It might look like I really want to get really good at understanding the products, the investment products, the insurance products. It might look like I want to get my process down. So my fact finder language, my close language, my close presentation, I want to get all that down, the annual review process. And all of that is great. All of that has to get done. Absolutely. So to build a really successful business, we want to have a really good client flow. But what I see so many advisors do is they're focusing so much on the client flow that they're not focusing on the front end or lead generation or getting referrals. And therefore, their business feels stagnant. They're not making more money. They're not closing more business. And so if you want to build a really successful business, a profitable business, we have to focus more so on the front end. We have to focus more so on prospecting, getting people in the door. Once you have that down, you can then work on all these other things. But what's the point in having a really amazing client process if you have no clients to put through the process? So focusing on the front end first will allow you the opportunity to then perfect the back end. It will allow you the opportunity to be making enough money that you can still be here so that you can create a really efficient back end process. And so what I hear most advisors want, I've worked with hundreds of advisors. I've been a financial advisor for 6 years. Well, what I've heard most advisors want, and myself included, is let's say number one, I want consistent revenue. I don't want this up and down roller coaster revenue. So I want $15,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, whatever the number is, but I want it consistently. So what I see some advisors, what happens with them is they have one good month, right? They submit more insurance, they submit more new clients, they submit more annuities, more investments. They have one good month and they'll maybe have a month where they make 20, 30,000. But then there's 2 or 3 months that are slower, that are feeling like, okay, I don't really have the inventory anymore. I'm not making as much money. So I want to get away from this roller coaster of financial results and the emotional roller coaster that comes with it, where I have one good month and then all of a sudden I feel really stressed for the next 2 or 3 months because I don't have consistent revenue. Number two thing that I hear, I want to be able to take a day off or take a half day. So maybe that means on a Friday, maybe a Friday afternoon, you just want to take from 2 p.m. on off. You just want to be done with work. You want to take a break. You want to take a breather. Maybe it's taking a full day on Friday off. You can spend time with your family. You can spend time with your friends, with your kids, your parents, just enjoy yourself. Maybe you do nothing and hang out with your dog all day. But I hear from advisors consistently that it would be so nice to be able to take a day off or maybe take a half day. I also hear from advisors that I want to take vacations without feeling behind. I want to take a vacation without feeling so much anxiety that is my business going to move forward? Am I going to be getting referrals? Like, who's going to be monitoring my inbox? I'm so stressed out about my business still moving forward so I can make money that I can't really take time off. I can't really take vacations without feeling really anxious or without feeling like I'm falling behind. The fourth thing that I hear is, Scottie, I want to work with better quality clients. So people that have more money, people that make more money, that have more assets, so that I, as the advisor, can work less or work the same, but make more money. So if I'm at 100,000 and I want to get to 300,000, I don't want to work three times as hard. I don't want to see three times as many people. So to do that, we want to increase the type of person we work with. They have more assets, more ability, so that we can make more money while working the same or even by working less. And last but not least, I hear from advisors consistently that I want to get rid of the pit in my stomach that I feel when I think about my business or I think about my next week. So I wake up on a Wednesday morning and it's 11 a.m. and I'm feeling okay from the week, but then I think about my business next week. How many meetings do I have on the calendar? How many referrals did I get? How much production is being submitted? And I get this overwhelming sense of anxiety, of dread. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it doesn't feel like I'm moving forward fast enough. I'm not seeing enough results. I want to get rid of this pit in my stomach, this anxiety feeling that how am I going to keep doing this month after month, day after day, year after year? And so if you are in the position where you want any of these, or maybe all five of them, maybe you want consistent revenue, maybe you want to be able to take Fridays off, you want to be able to take vacations without falling behind, you want to work with better quality clients so you can work less and make more, and you want to get rid of the pit in your stomach feeling when you think about your business, if any of these or all of these resonate with you, the answer, the solution, my friends, is to build a prospecting system. And so the question is, what is a prospecting system, Scottie? Well, I define a prospecting system as a clearly defined, proven, and simple strategy that you can rinse and repeat to get leads and referrals consistently. I'm going to say that again. A clearly defined, proven, and simple strategy that you can rinse and repeat to get leads and referrals consistently. That's what a prospecting system is. And so to put it in other words, I like to think of a prospecting system as an ATM machine. So if I think about an ATM machine, it would sit next to me. And an ATM machine, you push a couple buttons and money just pops right out. So I want to think about a prospecting system like that. I do a couple inputs, boom, money comes out. And so the real key here is that it's proven, so you know it's going to work, and it's rinse and repeatable. So if it's not rinse and repeatable, if you can't do it every single week, then it's not scalable. It's not sustainable. So it has to be rinse and repeatable. It has to be simple so that you execute on it every single day. And it has to be proven. You have to know it works. So I'm going to share with you the 6 strategies that I've used as a financial advisor in my business. And after testing hundreds of strategies, well, maybe not hundreds, maybe like 50 different strategies to get leads and referrals in the door, these are the 6 that I identified are the most impactful. So get your piece of paper, get your pencil, get your notes ready, because these are the 6 funnels that I have identified and I have tested and now have taught to hundreds of advisors that make up my prospecting system. Ready? Let's go. Number 1 is a rinse and repeat process for asking for referrals in meetings. So you might be wondering, okay, what exactly does that mean? Well, as an advisor, when I go into a meeting, I want to be able to ask for a referral from my client or from my prospect. And so my number 1 is, do you have a rinse and repeat process for asking for referrals in meetings? What I'm not saying is, do you ask for referrals occasionally? Do you maybe bring up the idea of referrals? Do you rely on willpower? All right, I'm going to ask for referrals in every single meeting this week. No. Do you have a rinse and repeat process? Do you know how to bring up referrals? Do you know what your language is to actually ask for the referrals? What's the template that you're sending after the meeting so that you can get referrals? How are you acknowledging and rewarding your clients when you actually get a referral? We need a process around asking for referrals so that it becomes ingrained. It's rinse and repeat. You can do it every single day. So I want to give you an example of how this might play out and how you might think about this. So if you sat down with a potential client and the client sat down with you and they said, so for example, let's say your name is Matt. You're like, hey, Matt, I'm really excited to chat with you. I would love to know what stocks I should invest in. And Matt, this advisor, you're sitting here thinking, I'm not going to just tell you some random stocks. I need to know more about you. Hey, I get that you want to understand my financial situation. You want to know more about my income and my assets, but I just want you to tell me the best 5 stocks to invest in. Well, as the advisor, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to just randomly give you 5 stocks to invest in because I don't know if they align with your goals, with your time horizon. Like, I can't just give you 5 stocks to invest in because that wouldn't be doing my due diligence. I have a process around making a new client and working with somebody. So that level of knowledge, that level of confidence, I know this is my process in asking for moving somebody through my fact finder and meeting a new client. I want you to have the same level of confidence when asking for referrals, the same process that you do not deviate from. All right, moving on to number 2. The second in my prospecting system, the second funnel in my prospecting system is LinkedIn. And specifically with LinkedIn, it's having a direct messaging strategy. So there are a couple different ways that we can use LinkedIn to get new clients. And in my experience, that I've been using LinkedIn since 2018, and I've coached hundreds of advisors on how to use LinkedIn effectively, it is still, to this day, a massively effective tool that many advisors are missing the boat on. So there are a couple of different ways that we can use LinkedIn. So you can go on LinkedIn, you can add somebody, you can message them, you can make them a new client through that. You can post on LinkedIn. So you can create some content and post on LinkedIn. What I'm referring to in this specific strategy is a direct message outreach campaign, which means I'm going to add somebody on LinkedIn, I'm going to message them and invite them to a conversation with me. Now, when done correctly, you should be able to book 2, 3, 4 meetings per week with your ideal client. And so having a LinkedIn strategy is one of the most powerful tools to get new people on your calendar that are ideal to work with. Okay, moving on to number 3 is what I call my no ask method. And my no ask method is, how do you train your clients to send you inbound referrals? I will share with you that this is my favorite, and this is the strategy that I've used for years to get people to come to me. It's really awesome asking for referrals. It's really awesome using LinkedIn. I love these strategies, but having a strategy where people come to you is a game changer. This creates so much more sustainability and scalability of your business because it's not requiring you to put out more effort. You're getting people to send referrals to you. And you might be thinking, that sounds amazing. I would love to get my clients to refer me people, but like they're not doing that right now. Well, the reality is that to get your clients to refer you business, there is a process that you must follow. It's not a complicated process, and I have a 4-step no ask method that I share my process. But the general outline is, number 1, you need to set expectations. So not only do you need to tell them that you accept referrals, but you need to tell them that you expect referrals. Number 2, in that conversation, you need to brand yourself as an expert and hit on pain points for your target market. You need to be doing an approach. I forgot to mention this. You need to be doing an approach only when you first start. So number 1 is the approach. Number 2 is expectation setting language. Number 3 is branding yourself as an expert. And then number 4 is there's an email template that you send after the meeting that makes it insanely easy and insanely motivating for people to refer you business. And when you do this 4-step process over and over and over again, you will have an army of clients that are referring you inbound referrals. And I know that this process works because in 2021 to 2022, I did not ask for referrals in meetings anymore. I still did 315,000 of insurance premium, 5 million of new assets under management, and I did about 490,000 of revenue that year. So I know this process works. And I've worked with hundreds of advisors. I know it works for them as well. But number 3 is training your clients to send you inbound referrals. Number four is something that I like to call dedicated prospecting meetings, or DPMs. A DPM, sometimes called by some firms a COI meeting or a center of influence meeting, but a DPM meeting is a specific meeting that you have with one person. And in that meeting, the sole intention is to get referrals from that person. The reason that I love DPMs and the reason that I find them to be so incredibly effective is because expectations are clearly aligned. So when setting up a DPM meeting, you're messaging the person and saying, hey, I would love to sit down with you for 15 to 20 minutes and pick your brain on people in your world that you think would be open to connecting with me and my team. If they say yes to the meeting, then great. Now there's mutual understanding as to why you're having the meeting. This is way more effective, in my opinion, than having a meeting with somebody and after the close, you go into, hey, so one more thing. I'd love to pick your brain and see who you're in your world you think would be open to connecting with me. Or at the end of an annual review, you go over their investments and you're like, by the way, anybody come to mind that you'd like to introduce to me and my team? Those processes feel a little bait and switchy to me. It feels a little bit like we're helping them, but all of a sudden we're now bait and switching and we're now asking for referrals. I don't love that. So I love dedicated prospecting meetings, or DPMs, because in a DPM, we are solely focused on getting referrals. Moving on to number five, the fifth funnel in my prospecting system is getting referrals off of LinkedIn. So I have a process by which I follow where when there's a client or somebody that I want to get referrals from, what I'll do is I'll go to their LinkedIn profile. I'll identify three, four, five, six, seven people in their world that I want to get introduced to. And then I'll grab those seven people and then email my client or text my client and say, hey, I would love to get introductions to these people. And I have a full process on all the email templates on how to do that. But that's the general process that I use. And I love that because it requires me to sit behind my computer. I can do it at any point in time in the day. And once I send out the email, assuming the person says yes, I might get three, four, five introductions just from that one email. And it's something that I have complete control over. Last but not least, the number six in my prospecting system is email marketing. Email marketing is insanely effective. And I love email marketing because, in contrast to sending out one email or doing one cold call, when you send out an email blast, you can message lots of people all at the same time with one email. So what this would look like is you would create an email, provide value inside of the email, and then have a call to action at the end of the email. So the email value might be, hey, thinking about combining finances as a power couple. So you can write an email on how do you combine finances? You can write an email on taxes. You can write an email on Social Security. You can write an email on any topic that is relevant to your target market, the people that you work with, that you think would be valuable to them. You just provide value in the email. And at the end of the email, you have a call to action, or a CTA. And in that, you could say something like, if you're interested in digging deeper, respond back and I'll send you my calendar link. Or you could also say, if you found this helpful, please forward to somebody that you think would be open to connecting with me. And you could use it to get referrals. So those are the six funnels or avenues that I've used, that I've tried and tested over and over and over again and found to be the most effective for a full prospecting system. So number one, a rinse and repeat process for asking for referrals and meetings. Number two, a direct message strategy on LinkedIn. Number three, training your clients to send you inbound referrals. I call this my no ask method. Number four, dedicated prospecting meetings. Number five, getting referrals off of LinkedIn. And number six, email marketing. So at this stage, you've now learned that creating a prospecting system is the most effective tool to building a profitable, sustainable, and really fun business. So number one, you must create a prospecting system. If you want freedom, if you want impact, if you want income, a prospecting system is the key. And then I share with you the 6 steps of my prospecting system. Does that mean that there are not other prospecting strategies that you can use? Absolutely. However, I found these to be the most effective, meaning they take the least amount of time and produce the most results possible. So after testing lots of different strategies, these are the 6 that I've used, that I teach to my clients, that I recommend using. And these are the 6 that if you decide to execute on, you will see results. If you're interested in digging deeper, I have a free training that you can join that will teach you more about my prospecting system. The link is below, but I am so proud of you. I'm excited for your success. Let me know how things go when you execute on this prospecting system, and I'll see you in the next video.